9. This horse has made a bit of pace in front, Salute Stride, and the Kiwi-bred debutant leads 4 metres. In second place, Mipersonaljet, who's about to pop off the pegs perhaps, and then 4.5 metres, Jansu, who's come one off and moves up, but going in front of it, Mipersonaljet. Jansu won one, sneaking up the inside, Keep Believing, as Mipersonaljet came off the pegs and went past Salute Stride like a jet. At the 400 metres, third quarter 31.3, Mipersonaljet 8 metres, Salute Stride's got nothing left. 3 metres, Jansu, Keep Believing on the inside, held up, and then out wider is Aldebaran Styles, but at the distance, Mipersonaljet leads 12 metres. Aldebaran Styles looks the danger, if any, down the outer, is 15 plus away. Then Keep Believing, Salute Stride, Jansu in the centre, but Mipersonaljet debut was a Group 1 third placing up in Sydney and goes on to break the main at start too hard, held by 12 metres to Aldebaran Styles.
Yeah, he did a terrific job having his second start. Obviously went to Sydney for his first start and handled everything really good, but yeah, it's good to get a win on the board with a nice well-bred 2-year-old like him.
Tell us what attracted you to him.
Well, we actually had his sister Norquay, and it's obviously he's out of the family of the greatest female trotter of all time, Moneymaker, so you don't sort of get an opportunity to buy horses out of that good a family, and we were happy to have a Quaker Jet, and but he was big at the sales. We knew he was going to be big. His sister's just a little tiny thing, Norquay, but we didn't realise how big he was going to get. He's probably the tallest 2-year-old trotter on planet Earth, I reckon. If anyone else has got a bigger one, let me know, but he's 17-1, but he seems to pretty good on his feet, so he did a good job last night.
Well, Quaker Jet's made a great name for himself from limited opportunities in the Southern Hemisphere. And this bloke looks like, he might deliver for his sire.
He's done a great job. He's left a couple of really nice horses, Quaker Jet. Obviously, he's a good stallion in France, and he's, we're hoping this horse can compete in some of the bigger races later in the season.
What are some of the real promising traits this bloke's showing?
Just his attitude. He's just got a great attitude to, you wouldn't really consider taking a 2-year-old trotter 8 hours by float for their first start for Sydney, but we just thought he just handles everything, and all the time we've thought he's so big, if he needs a break or we need to tip him out for next year, we would, but so far he's handling everything really good and he pulled up good, so we'll keep pushing on with him at this stage.
And that debut, the conditions were some of the worst you've seen, you said?
It was atrocious, that track at Menangle that night, and a couple of the other Sydney drivers said to me they just could not see a thing in those races, and the big fella was in behind with horses all around him, and if he had a gallop there, I would have wouldn't have blamed it on the horse at all, but he handled everything that night really good and came home, and that sort of trip like that can knock a horse around. And he's such a big fella, but he pulled up really good from it, and he still looks good. So yeah, and he sort of franked that form by how he went last night.
Yeah, and tell us about that run. In the running, he got a nice trail on him. He really found something.
Ross Payne drove him actually, but he just had him travelling along beautiful all the way, and they ran pretty quick time for a 2-year-old trot, 2-1 for the longer trip, and he was always travelling in behind them really good, and just how he finished off, he seems to have a great attitude, and they're the sort of things you want in a 2-year-old trotter. What's
planned for him?
We'll probably qualify him from the stand and think about aiming at the Redwood. It's about 6 weeks away, I think. But yeah, he's not we'll just sort of let him tell us, maybe pick one of the Breeders' Crown or the Vic Bred Series or something, but if we had any worries about him that he needed a break, we'd sort of send him straight to the paddock. But at this stage, we think he might be able to compete in the better races, so we'll be aiming towards him.
And with his size, he's a horse you're obviously prepared to give time to.
Yeah, we've given him plenty of time. He was a sort of natural trotter. Graham McDermott broke him in for us, and we could have got him going earlier, but we just kept giving him a bit of time. Obviously, now how the calendar's situated, the better races are all at the latter part of the season, so that's enabled us to, not rush him and just let him come along himself. And